Find the longest chain.
Okay, let's find the longest chain. So if we start here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So which one is longer? Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or
to the students who actually do want to listen.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
What you have in red.
Okay, so that would be our longest chain. Do I have it numbered in the correct orientation? Or should I start it from over here where the 6 is at? Start that being the 1. Like this. Red numbering or green numbering?
Red.
Red. Why?
There's a chain on 2.
Okay, because we have a branch on 2. Okay, so let's start naming it. So the longest chain was 6. So what would the last part of the name be? For 6 carbons.
Hexane.
Hexane. Okay. So what do we have on the second carbon? Okay, any suggestions? So what do we have here? Let me circle it. What are these on the second carbon? And on the fourth carbon?
Is that methyl?
That's right. These guys are methyls. How many methyls do I have total?
3.
3. So then I would say, what methyl? So if there are 3 of them, I would say, I'd put the numbers. So I have 2 on the second carbon, and I have 1 on the fourth carbon. And then what do I need to put in front of the methyl?
Prop.
What was that?
Prop.
Nope. We use the classic Greek letters. So if 1 was mono, 2 would be di, 3 would be
Tri.
tri. Trimethyl. Yeah. Okay. So it's 2,2,4 trimethyl. Okay. And what is on the third carbon? What group is that? What was that?
Ethyl.
Ethyl. That's right. Okay. Oops. Three ethyl, 2,2,4 trimethyl hexane. Simple? Not too hard? Yes, no, maybe? How's your weekend, by the way? Good. How's the exam, by the way? Easy? Piece of cake?
Sure.
I'm expecting 90% on everything? Or wait. So if I remember, if you guys got a 70, if everybody got a 70 and above, I owe you guys pizza. If you don't get a 70 above, you guys owe me pizza. Okay? Wasn't that our bet? Isn't that our bet, Alessio? Okay, so let's try another. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Okay. How about that one? First thing I want to do is to do what? Haley, what is the first thing that I want to do?
Bailey or Haley?
Haley with an H.
What was the first thing you need to do?
Yep.
Count the largest branch.
Find the longest branch. Okay, so let's see. Let's start here. 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 4, that's 5, that's 6, that's 7. Would that be 7?
Yeah.
Okay, so am I counting it in the right way?
Yes. Yeah.
Are you sure?
I think.
I don't think you got the last one. Oh, wait, no, you didn't.
So if I counted it the other way, wouldn't the double bond be at 2 as well? So if I counted it this way, let's see. Can you guys not hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay. So if I counted it this way, that's 2, that's 3, that's 4, that's 5, that's 6, that's 7. So when we talk about priority, that's what we're going to be talking about today. Priority, the guy that has the most priority, you want to try to have the lowest number on, if you have that option, right? So if I count this way, the branch, you would say that the branch has priority. Branch has it doesn't have priority. Your double bond that's in your primary chain would have priority. Okay, so, or your triple bond in your primary chain would have priority over single bonds. Okay, so you'd want to have your double bond at the lowest number possible because it's in the primary chain. That longest chain is called the primary chain. Are you with me? Okay, now knowing that, how would I name this guy? So it's a 7 carbon with a triple bond.
It's going to be a, since it's 7, it's going to be a hepta.
I heard hepta. So if it's triple bond, what is a triple bond?
It's Y-N-E, right?
Y-N-E. So we're gonna put Y-N-E. Where's that triple bond located at? Starts at the which carbon? Starting at the second carbon. Okay, so we're using the blue numbers. So what are the branches?
The branches are the first 2, the third one, and the fourth. I don't know how to say this.
So we're using the blue number. I would say, what numbers would I put down for my branches?
1, 2, 3, 4.
I put 1. If we're using the blue numbers, I'd put down what? So if I'm using the blue numbers,
You already said 4, 5, and 6.
you said 4, 5, and 6. Okay. Are they all the same? 4, 5, and 6?
6 has 2.
Oh, 6 has 2, but aren't they 2 individual branches? So I'd go,
Yeah, they are.
so I'd go, what are these? What's coming off of 5 and what's coming off of 6? What are these guys called?
6,
Methyl.
Methyl. So how many total do I have? How many methyl groups total do I have?
3.
3. So then if I'm using 3, what would be the prefix for 3? The Greek prefix for 3?
The ones in 5 or 6 are methyl.
Okay. So then I would say for the Greek prefix, what would I use? Because there's 3 of them. Get the answer up before it.
Trimethyl.
Trimethyl. Okay. So then I have to put the numbers in front of that. So you said it was 5 and 6, 6. 5, comma 6, 6. Trimethyl. And then what's on 4?
That's a
Ethyl.
An ethyl, that's right. So I put 4-ethyl, 5, 6, 6 trimethyl. 2 heptene.
I did try this.
Questions?
So there's
Are you guys with me? Ready for the next one, huh? Okay, so what happens when I have okay, so what happens when I have a double bond and a triple bond? Okay, so this gets us into this concept of priority. So certain things have priority over other things. Single bond is the lowest so far. So let's write this down. So alkenes are going to have priority over alkynes. And the reason why that is because alkenes are more common than alkynes. So the double bond is going to have priority over the triple bond. Now the triple bond is going to have priority over the single bond. So alkanes have the lowest priority right now. Now, what do I mean by priority? So priority basically helps us determine what the last name is going to be. Right? So like when we know when it's a double bond and only a double bond, and there's single bonds and a double bond, the double bond has priority. When we know that there's a triple bond and a single bond, the triple bond has priority. Okay? So it ends with that YNE. That's going to be part of the last name that's given. Okay? So priority determines the last name that's going to be given. Are you with me so far? So let me give you an example. So if we go through and name this, we want to try to get the lowest, let's see, the lowest numbers. So let's see, we have the longest chain first, 1, 2, 3, 4, this is 5, this is 6, this is 7, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So these guys are both 7. If I go this way, and if I go, we'll use the orange. Can you guys distinguish between the, let's use green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're both 7, right? So I want to try to get the one that has the most structures in it, that also has the least number or the smallest number on the one that has the most priority. So who has more priority, the double bond or the triple bond? Now remember, down here, this is the order of priority. As we go up, you're more important. So is the double bond more important or is the triple bond more important?
Double.
The double bond is more important. Okay, so that means the double bond is going to get the last name. Okay, you're going to put the last name of the double bond. So we want to try to make sure our double bond has the lowest number possible. So then that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So our double bond starts at 2. That'll give my double bond the lowest number. Okay, so then we're going to start off with the back part. So a 7 carbon hydrocarbon is called a what?
Peptine.
Peptine. Okay, we have to tell where's that double bond located at? It's located at the 2. That's correct. So it's 2-heptene. So that's going to be the last name. That's going to be the very end of the name of the compound. Okay. So that's kind of like how we do our naming, right? It's always the male at the end because the male is more important, right? I only got one laugh out of that. That's ridiculous. Okay. Okay, so now we knew all of the other things. Now, here we have two options, right? In terms of nomenclature. We can put, since there's a triple bond, right? And it isn't priority. It isn't the most important. There's a couple of ways of doing it. We can make it so it's a prefix, right? And when we do it as a prefix, we use just that YN, okay? Now, if we use it as part of that last name, right? If it was just a triple bond, we use YNE. So there's a couple of ways that we could do this. One of the ways we could put it in this name here. So I'll show you another way that we could write this. It would be HEP. The number where the triple bond is located, the smallest number, which is at 5. So -5 YN 2 ENE. Okay, so then that tells me where the triple bond is at in that main chain. It also tells me where the double bond is at in the main. So this is one way of doing it. The other way of doing it is this way, where we would just put 5 YN dash. Okay, so then that tells me again, there's a triple bond in our main chain. Okay, that's at the 5 carbon. Okay, so what are the other structures here? What are the other functional groups? What's on the 3rd carbon? Meth, that's right. It's a methyl group. So we put 3-methyl. And what about on the 4th carbon? That's 1, that's 2, that's 3. What is the 3 carbon chain called?
Propyl.
Propyl, that's right. So if I remember, M is before P. So I'll put this back here. So that'll be 4-propyl. So both of these methods are acceptable in IUPAC nomenclature. So you'll see it written both ways. Are you with me? Like this. You don't need that one there, but okay, are you with me?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so when we have a double bond and a triple bond, if we can, we want them to be in the same structure, right? That makes things so much easier for us, right? When we start naming branching, it gets a little more complicated. It still is going to end with YL if it's a double bond or triple bond, but then we'll have to put the YN, YL if it's on a branch, right? Which looks ugly, right? It just makes it look so ugly, okay? So I'm going to start writing what we call our prefixes and our suffixes. So prefixes, or they're not truly prefixes, but they go in between. So the prefix for this guy is just EN. The prefix for this guy is YN. And AN we don't worry about. Okay, the suffix would be ENE. The suffix for this guy is YNE. And then for this guy, we know it's ANE. Okay, are you guys with me so far?
So it's not, there isn't one for algae.
Was there a question? Okay, so let's see.
This.
Okay, what about this guy? First thing I'm going to do is to do what? Let's see, who can I pick on? Let's see, I'm thinking Minerva. Are you there, Minerva? Okay, help me out with it. First thing I'm going to do is to do what? You have to say it a little bit louder.
You count how many left are.
So I'm going to count the longest chain. Okay, am I going to start on this side or am I going to start on this side? Where should I start?
Start on the right side.
Right side? Okay. So that's 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 4, that's 5, that's 6, that's 7, that's 8. So if I started counting from the other side, the red numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Am I going to use the red numbers or am I going to use the blue numbers? How many people think it's the blue numbers? Raise your hand. How many think it's the red numbers? Raise your hand. How many people think? Raise your hand. See, that's my problem. I don't see anybody raising their hand.
Blue, right?
Okay, so the correct answer should be the red. Why is it the red?
Let's go.
Okay, who has priority? Double bond or triple bond? Double bond has priority. So we want to make sure that the double bond has the lowest number. Okay, so we're going to be using the red numbers. Okay, so what is going to be our last name? How many carbons do we have?
It's 8, so it's gonna be oct, but it's gonna also has
That's right, it's going to be oct. And then you said it has 2 double bonds. I mean, 2 triple bonds. There's one on the 5 and one on the 7, right?
Write it down twice or not?
So if there's a 5 on the 7, so we go 5, comma 7. So that's 2. What do I represent for 2?
What?
Die.
Di. So it'll be di dash ein, Y-N, dash our triple bond. I mean, our double bond is on the 3rd, E-N-E. So we could do it this way. I know it looks beautiful, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Or we could do it. Oops. Oh, crap. Doesn't want to listen. Okay, or we could do it this way. And then we also have methyls where? And how many methyls do we have? So I believe there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4. There's 4 methyls. So if I'm using the Greek prefix for 4, I'm going to be using what?
Tetra?
Tetra, that's right. So I'd use 2, comma 2, comma 3, comma 4, tetra, methyl, 5,7, diene, 3 octene, or diene. So, or I could use this at the top as well too. So either way would be correct. Questions, concerns, Cash? Kool-Aid? Okay, let's move forward then. Next thing that we're going to be talking about, we've talked about double bonds, we talked about triple bonds, and we've talked about single bonds. So now we're going to talk about other functional groups. The next functional group we're going to be talking about are let's see. Hold on. They're called halo alkenes or alkanes. Okay, halo basically stands for halogen. So there will be a halogen attached to a carbon chain. Now, the way that we do this is for haloalkanes, we just put O at the end of the halogen. So like for instance, okay, that's a Cl, not a pretty Cl. So this is 1, 2, 3 carbon. So a 3 carbon is called what?
3 carbon is gonna be prop. No, wait, that's 4 though. That's 4. So it's gonna be put
1, 2, 3. No, so this bond here is actually attached to the Cl. That's a Cl. So that's a chlorine, right? So it has a chlorine there. So we would call this guy, the way we would name it, we would call this guy, is the orientation, right? So the functional group is actually on that first carbon. So we would count this way actually. So that's one, oops. There we go. That's 1, 2, 3. So this guy would be called 1 chloro pentane. I mean, not pentane, propane. Okay, because the chloro group is on that first carbon. This would be our very first functional group. So this here is just the bond between that first carbon and the chlorine. You see that, Alicio? Alicio, sorry.
Yeah, I saw that.
You see it? Okay. So let's say we have this guy. Okay. So first thing that we're going to do is do what?
Yes.
Let's see. Ara, first thing that we're going to do is to do what?
We're going to count.
We're going to count, find the longest chain. So that's
Yeah.
1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 4, that's 5. So that will be the longest carbon chain. Okay. So on the third carbon, there's a bond between the carbon and the fluorine. So if I count it the other way, that's 1, that's 2, that's 3. So it didn't matter which way I go. Okay. So this guy is going to be called what? Three. It's fluoro. Fluoro. 5-chain carbon.
Pentane.
Pentane. Okay, pretty simple. Okay, now haloalkanes are the lowest on the priority list, right? So they'll never be part of that last name. Okay, so do you want to make it a little more challenging?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Is this table helping? Should I keep it or should I dump it? Okay, what about this guy? First thing I'm gonna do what?
Find the longest chain.
Find the longest chain. Am I got a number from the left or the right?
Left.
Okay. Okay, so 6 carbon chain. So what would be the name of this guy?
Wait. Six.
Okay, so who has priority? The double bond. Okay, so we know that it's going to end with a 6 carbon chain with a double bond would be what? Did you say hex? Hexene? Where's the double bond located at?
2.
2. So 2 hexene. And then what do I have on the 5 carbon? Cl and Cl? How many Cls do I have? 2. So what is the prefix that I use for 2? Okay, so I'll put 5, comma 5 to tell me that they're both on the 5 carbon. Di chloro 2 hexene. You guys see that? If you guys have your periodic table available.
What about 4? We don't count 4?
Oh, I'm glad you differ. Yes, we do count 4. Good job. What is on the 4th carbon?
Methyl, right?
That's right. See? Okay, so the final answer is 5,5-dichloro 4-methyl 2-hexene. Look at you. Catching my mistake. Good job. Okay, how many of you guys have your periodic table? Everybody? So on the back of it, it has all of the functional groups that we're going to be at some point. We're not going to talk about all of them. We're going to talk about a few of them. Okay. So, but so that you'll be familiar with what they look like. Okay. Okay, we'll try one more. I'm going to introduce something new to you as well. Okay, I know it's not pretty. Okay, so this here is called a cyclohexane. I mean, sorry, not cyclohexane. It's called a cycloalkane. And now we just need to determine how many carbons that we have around it in the circle. So you always want to start where the functional group is at. So we have a chlorine on the very first carbon. So that'll be 1. This will be 2. This will be 3. This will be 4. This will be 5. And this will be 6. So then we would call this guy 1 chloro cyclo hexane, since there are no double bonds or triple bonds. Simple? Okay. What about this guy? I'll let you guys name it. Okay, and here the circle is going to have priority. Okay. Okay, so how are we going to start? How big is our circle?
Longest carbon chain.
How many carbons is in the circle? How many? You said 6? I say 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4.
4?
4. There's 1. Isn't a square? How many points are in a square? 4. So a 4-chain carbon.
Butane.
Okay, so it's butane. Since it's in a circle, what do we need to put in front of it?
Cyclo.
Cyclo, or since it's connected, I should say, not in a circle. So cyclobutane. So who has priority? The single bonded chain or the halo alkanes? Remember, lowest going up. So with the, what is a two-chain carbon called?
Propyl.
2-chain? 1, 2?
Ethyl.
Ethyl. Okay, so that would have priority over the fluorines because fluorines are last. So, or the halogens are last. So then let's do the counting. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 4. But we also know that, ooh, I screwed up here. We have a double bond at the top. So we know that the double bond has priority. So over that. So let's fix our numbers. So that's 1, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Would that also mean that instead of butane, it's butene?
That's right. Good
Yeah,
correction.
but why don't we start our counting from fluorine?
Because fluorine is the lowest on the priority list. The double bond has a higher priority than a fluorine. So you want to count it, you want to start the counting on the one who has the most importance. And the double bond has the most importance.
Okay, so like with the last example, we led with the chain with chlorine because there wasn't like nothing else that came before it. Is that
Exactly.
why?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
that's exactly it. Yeah.
Okay.
Good observation. Okay, so then we'd have on the 3rd carbon, we have our ethane. And then on the 4th carbon, we have our ethyl, sorry, not ethene. On the fourth carbon, we have or difluoro. Okay, questions, concerns, Cash, Crayolas? Okay, so let's add another functional group. Our next functional group that we're going to be adding. Are you guys getting this so far?
Kind of.
Okay. Sorry, I'm having a little trouble with copying and pasting right now. Okay, can you guys see that so far? Are you guys okay with the green?
Yeah.
Okay, so the next guys are amines. So the suffix for amines is amine. Oops, sorry, that's the down here. Suffix is amines. The prefix for amines is amino. Okay, now amines are more important than the double bond. So we're going to end with amine if we have amines there. So let me show you what an amine looks like. An amine basically has nitrogen. And then you have hydrocarbons coming off of your nitrogen. So I'm going to use R to represent hydrocarbons. Amines have the ability of having 3 hydrocarbons. This is R prime. And this is R double prime. They have the ability of having 3 hydrocarbons, or they can have just 1 hydrocarbon and then hydrogens here. So let me give you an example. So this guy would be named 1, 2, 3. What is a 3 carbon chain? A 3 carbon chain. Propane. So this guy would be called propylamine. So it would be propylamine. And that's it. Okay. If I have three hydrocarbons, what are 2 carbon chains called? 1, 2.
Ethyl.
Ethyl. So this guys have 3 ethyls. So what would I call this? If it has 3 ethyls, what is the Greek prefix for 3?
Try.
Triethylamine. Okay, what about this guy? What do you think that guy is going to be called? One carbon? So if there's 1 carbon here, and there's 1, 2, 3 carbon here, this guy would be called what? Three carbon? What is a 3 carbon chain? Prop. So propane. And then a 1 carbon chain? Meth, and I have 2 of them? If I have 2 of them, how do I count 2 of them? 2 1 carbon chains. Dimethyl. Amine. Do you guys see it? You see the pattern? Yes, no, maybe? How about this?
Why don't we need to like number it?
Because they're always attached directly to the nitrogen. So
Okay.
anything that's there is going to be attached to the nitrogen. So you don't need to number it, right? Because that attachment doesn't matter. It's going to all be the same. So if I put this guy here, if I put this guy here and I put that guy there, ultimately it's going to look exactly the same. It's going to behave the same way. So there's no need for numbering in this case. Does that make sense?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Okay, what about this guy? We'll do one more and then we'll move on. Yeah. Okay, any suggestions? What should I call this guy?
Butamine
You said it's how many chain? What is the carbons? Can you guys hear me?
or bute.
4. Okay, so bute. So it's a butyl amine. And how many butyls do I have?
Three.
So then it would be
Try.
Oops. So tributylamine. Simple? Okay, good. Let's move forward. Okay, our next one is going to be alcohols. Okay, so the prefix for alcohols are going to be hydroxyl or hydroxy.
All your functional groups are here.
And then for the suffix for alcohols are OL, like alcohol. So they look like this. They basically have OHs attached to them. Okay, so this guy has 1, 2, 3 carbons, and then it has an OH attached to it. So what do you think this guy is going to be called? 3 carbon chain. What is a 3 carbon chain called?
Propyl.
Propyl. So we have prop, pane, all. Okay. Now you could call this guy, we could call it 1-propanol, or we could just call it propanol because it's understood to be on the 1 carbon. So that would be 1, 2, 3. So it's on that first carbon. Drop it out. So 1, 2, 3. So that OH is on that first carbon. Now this guy, what is the longest carbon chain? Let's see. Juan, are you there?
He's here. One.
Juan, what is the longest carbon chain for this guy?
What's the longest carbon chain? He's right here, Doctor.
I can't hear him. What did he say? Can you guys hear me? Are you guys there? Okay, so Juan was telling me the longest carbon chain
What's
for
the
this
longest
one.
carbon chain? He doesn't know what the longest carbon chain is.
Okay, let's count them. Juan, help me count. That's 1, 2, 3. So what is that? What would be that prefix I would use? 1, 2, 3. What will we use? Okay, so we'd use that prop, right? Is it single bonds or double bonds? Single, so propan. And then we know that it has an OH, so we put OL. Now, where is that OH located at? On the second carbon, so it'll be 2-propanol. Okay, now we also have what we call common organic nomenclature. So since both of these sides, it's on the second carbon, these are equal sides, we would also call this guy, another name would be isopropanol. Have you guys heard of isopropanol before?
Oh, yes.
Rubbing alcohol, the stuff you put on your sores, like when you cut your hand.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what isopropanol looks like. Okay, let's see. Enrique, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's go. Okay, Enrique, help me out with the name for this one. Enrique.
Where are you at?
It's octane, right?
So that's 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 4, that's 5, that's 6, that's 7, that's 8. So it's octa. You were saying,
Yeah.
okay. So we have octa. Is it any double bonds?
What do you got?
Are there any double bonds?
No, it's only a single bond.
Okay, so then octane, and then it has an OH. So we put what at the end? OL. Okay, now where is that OH located at?
Is it at 6?
It's located at the 6. Is that the lowest number?
Oh, at 3.
Okay, that'll be 1, 2, 3. So on the third carbon, 3 octanol. Simple?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Are you there, Luis? Luis from Fireball. Is Luis there? No, Luis?
Oh, that's far. Yeah.
It from Fireball, yes. Luis from Fireball, you're there. Okay, that's all right. Steven will step up. Come on, Steven, help me out here. Are you there, Steven?
Steve. And
Okay, no Steven. How about
Hey, no,
Justin?
Steven's commenting. Are you sending comments?
Oh, wait a minute, hold on. Okay, he's here. Okay, count the longest chain. Should we start left or right? Steven? Left or right?
Say left, Steven.
This way? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or this way? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the pink or the blue? How many people think it's the pink we should count? Raise your hand.
For which one?
Okay, Steven says the blue.
I said pink. Pink. For woman instead.
Okay, so the correct answer is the pink.
What?
Because we want the one who has the most priority to have the lowest number. So if we count it with the blue, the OH would have 5, compared to if we count it with the pink, The OH has a 2. Now, which one has a lower number? 5 or 2? 2. So you always want the one who has the most priority to have the lowest number. Okay? So, oops. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the name. So it's a 6-chain carbon. So a 6-chain carbon is called what? Justin. Justin.
Yeah,
6-chain carbon.
6 change carbon.
Yes.
Is that a hexa?
Hexa, okay. So do we have a double bond in it?
Yes.
Okay, so how do I account for that double bond?
Would it be 2 hexa?
Ah, so you'd say 2 hexa. Where's
Yes.
the double bond located at?
Right here between the 5 and the 6.
It's located between the 5 and the 6. So if I was counting for that double bond, I want to put that either here and then put ENE. And then where's my my alcohol located at?
Right here where the 2 is.
That's right. So it'll be 2 all. And then is there a methyl group?
No.
Sure. On 3.
Yeah, I'm assuming so. Yeah, there is one.
There's one there, and there's also one on the 4, right? There's 2 on the 4.
There's 2.
So then I'd call that 3.
5.
Yes, that's right. 3, 4, 4 trimethyl.
Okay, there 4, 4.
Okay. So this would be one way of writing it. The other way of writing it would be okay. Okay, how's it going? Are you guys getting it? You see it?
Yeah,
Piece of cake?
yeah.
Okay. Okay, so we're gonna stop right here on the nomenclature. We'll pick it back up tomorrow. So we're gonna talk about what I need to do to fix Proctorio, right? Because I
Yeah.
got a lot of messages on Proctorio about
Yeah, Dr. Henry.
yes.
I noticed that on the weekend, the day that was originally we were supposed to take the exam. Once I had already opened up the extension for Proctorio, it goes through this diagnostics thing, and then even if 2 of them or even 1 of them doesn't pass, it immediately kicks you out of the test, and it slaps on this like code sanction for me.
Okay.
Because that's what happened with me.
Okay.
Even though I got the extension opened up.
Okay. So what you guys need to do is you're gonna have to remove the extension. Are you guys listening? Let me stop right now so that you guys, and I'll show you the process of that. Let me stop sharing this right now.
Yeah, because me and a few other students have been experiencing the same problem quite a while.
I've heard. Believe me, I have like hundreds of messages. So
Yeah.
okay, so let's see. I'm going to share my screen here.
Damn,
Yeah,
that's
and
seven
so
on campus.
anytime that you run into this problem, can you guys see my screen?
I can.
Okay, what do you guys, you see the Proctorio Chrome extension?
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, so anytime that you run into this problem where you're getting, it's giving you errors on connection, the thing that you want to do is you want to click this. You want to click the 3 buttons in the side. So that'll take you to this menu. You want to select settings.
All
You want
right.
to go over to extensions. Well, the first thing that you want to do is make sure that your Chrome is updated. So best way of doing that is go to the safety check, click on the safety check, and it'll actually go through and check everything. And it says right here, Google Chrome is updated, up to date. Then go to extensions, click onto your extensions. Okay, make sure you may have trouble with Proctorial. So one thing you can do is remove Proctorial and then reload it. So then if you go back to the exam, go completely out of the browser, like completely close the browser and come back into the browser, go back into the exam. So when you go back into the exam, oops, sorry, that's not what I wanted to show you.
You have it on the Zoom part. There you go.
So if you go back to the exam, grades quiz. And what I'll do, I'll have it set up so you guys can actually do it. I'll set up some flow tests to be done over and over and over again. So you want to go back to the exam, you want to click onto the extension required, click here. So then that will take you to Proctorial that you'll get the new extension. And then click here to install. Add to Chrome. Add your extension.
All right.
Okay, and you'll get this little thing that says it's been added. And then you should be good to go at that point. Okay.
All right.
Okay, give that a shot. If that does not work, then tomorrow when I get to see you guys face to face in Coalinga, and then what we'll do, we'll set up a time so that I will have a proctoring time for those who could not get it to work at all, or I will work it with you. So I'm going to set this guy up, the flow test, so it can be taken over and over and over and over and over again. So then that way you'll be able to check to make sure it's working before you take that exam. Are you guys understanding what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Hopefully that works out, because you guys have another exam that will be opening up this Friday.
All right. Also, with lab 5, with lab 5 and 6, are those going to have reports for them?
Yes, they are. Oh, 5, all you need to do is, it's not going to be a report. All you need to do is upload the paper that you wrote the answers on. That's it.
All right.
So there's no report for 5. And then for 6, there will be a report. We'll be doing lab 6 tomorrow.
All right. Yeah, because I do know for the spectroscopy lab, we did do a report for that one.
Yes, you did. And you also had to enter the, and a couple of you guys misunderstood. You had to enter your unknown so you would have the answers to already submitted before you did your report. And I will reopen that up. So, because I know a few of you guys misunderstood that. So let me reopen that up right now.
Hey, say that again, Dr. Henry. You said we misunderstood what?
There were a few people who misunderstood that you had to submit your unknowns. Like once you figured out what your unknowns were, you're supposed to go in and there's a little quiz that you're supposed to enter your unknowns for. And
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. Some people misunderstood that and didn't submit their unknowns.
Okay.
So I'm going to open that back up for you. Okay. It'll say late though, but
yeah,
I may be kind enough to give you some leniency for not being late, depending on how I'm feeling towards the end of the semester.
Dr. Henry, the students are asking it from Amines, that's it?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, all right then.
Also, this is it?
Yep, that's it for today.
All
Unless
right.
you guys have any questions, that's all you need to do to fix your proctorial. If
All right,
that does not
then.
work,
Hey, whose computer is that?
when you get to campus, we'll be able to fix that then. What
All
was
right.
that?
All right, then I'll see you tomorrow then.
Yep, I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, then.
Okay.
What time is your tutorial? At 3. It starts at 3. 3 to 6? Yeah, 3 to 6.
You can ask him here. No, I'm asking because it's your grade. We have a student that has a question, Dr. Henry.
Okay.
Ask him.
Mr. Harry, when did you said that we could do the test here in class?
So what we'll do is I will talk to Jessica to find a time that'll be good for her. So, and then we'll set up a time for you guys to be able to share in class. So, but first try to remove your extension and reload your extension. Because if we can get it working, you can take it at any point today. So try to do that first. And if that doesn't work for you, then tomorrow we'll have time set up for you to do it tomorrow. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.